My name is Rebecca, and I am the Director of Nursing Content and Curriculum. I'm going to talk with you today about answering drag and drop items. In this video, we will address types of drag and drop questions, the closed drag and drop, and the drag and drop rationale. We'll also discuss examples of scoring and some test taking tips. This slide may look very intimidating. Fret not. What the National Council State Board of Nursing, NCSBN, is using is NGN item types to assess your ability for Layer 3. These are the thinking and cognitive skills you are required to use when answering NGN questions. They range from cue recognition to the evaluation of outcomes. The nice thing is that these concepts are not new as they follow the nursing process that you know so well. Layer 4 is a great resource when answering questions. Look in your cases and your questions for environmental and individual factors that may sway your decision-making with specific topics. Be mindful that they may also be a distractor, so keep only to the pertinent information. In an NGN case study, you will read the information in the tabs on the left of your screen. You will see a question on the right of your screen. Items may be one of the 6 items in a set. You will see 1 of 6, 2 of 6, if that is the case. Like on the screen, you see 3 of 6. They may also be single standalone questions attached to a case study. You'll see screen 1 of 1, if that is the situation. Drag and drop items are an interaction type you will use for some of the NGN item types. You may have done this before with ordered sequence questions. You will drag your response from a list of options or answer well and drop them into a blank to complete a sentence. The 2 different types we will talk about are the closed drag and drop and the drag and drop rationale. This is an example of a closed drag and drop item. Closed items are used to determine your ability to understand what you are reading by eliminating parts of a sentence and providing you with the options to complete the sentence. In a closed drag and drop, there can be from 1 to 3 blanks in the sentence, which you will need to complete. Keep in mind, all the answer choices and distractors come from the same drag and drop answer well. The answer well, there could be 4 to 10 options. Once an answer choice is used, it will disappear from the well. If you want to change your answer, you will just move your choice back to the well and choose a different response. Closed drag and drop items use the 0-1 scoring rule. You are very familiar with that one. This is the classic scoring rule, which has been used for all test items up until NGN was developed. You will earn 1 point for each correct response. You do not receive points for incorrect answers. You do not receive negative scores in 0-1 scoring. Therefore, the sum of all correct responses is the total score for an item. Let's see the 0-1 scoring rule in action for a closed drag and drop item. The assessment item on the screen is worth a total of 3 points, 1 point per target or blank. If a correct answer is provided for target 1 only, then 1 point is awarded. If a correct answer is provided for targets 1 and 2, then 2 points are awarded. Similarly, if correct answers are provided for targets 1 and 3, but not 2, then 2 points are awarded. If all 3 targets are answered correctly, you will receive all 3 points. Drag and drop rationale is very much like the previous closed drag and drop we just saw, but there is a twist. You have to determine a cause and effect or rationale for the options. You will have to be able to name the first part of the cause and effect relationship to correctly receive any credit. In this item, you will drag the correct response from each answer well and drop it into the target. Rationale questions either have 1 cause and 1 effect or 1 cause and 2 effects. This example shows 1 and 1. You must choose an answer from the corresponding color-coded well in order to proceed to the next question. If an answer choice is dropped into a non-corresponding blank, it will be rejected and returned to the answer well. Drag and drop rationale items are scored with the rationale scoring model. The rationale scoring model is used whenever the question requires you to understand the relationship between paired information. For example, X is due to Y, or X is evidenced by Y and Z. The key to the rationale scoring model is understanding that you must correctly identify X, usually the condition, in order to receive any points for the item. For a dyad, so named because there are two blanks, if you correctly identify X, the total possible point is 1. In a triad, there are 3 blanks to complete. If you correctly identify X, then there are 2 possible points for the item. If you do not correctly identify X, then you receive no points, even if Y and Z are correct. Let's give it a try in this example. There is 1 cause and 2 effects. So this is a triad. Remember, you cannot drag an option from one of the wells and put it into the target or blank where it does not belong. An example would be if advanced age was put in the condition blank instead of the findings blank. The test would not allow you to do that. In this question, where there is 1 cause and 2 effects, if you answer the condition or cause correctly and both effects are correct, you could receive 2 points. Let's see this drag and drop rationale in action. Now let's go over some test taking tips. First, make sure you start your test with a rested brain. When taking the test, use guided imagery and place yourself at the bedside. Remember to read the instructions and know that your drag selection will drop only in one place. And finally, don't forget to pause before moving forward and evaluate the answer choices and outcomes of those choices. Let's talk some frequently asked questions. How do I know which answer well corresponds to which blank in the question? The answer wells will be labeled and only allow the appropriate answers to be dragged and dropped into the appropriate well. If you attempt to drop in a blank where it does not belong, it will return to the well. And remember, in our examples, there's color coding. What happens if I change my mind after I dropped the answer into place? If you change your mind, you can drag and drop the answer back into the well and choose another option, as long as you have not proceeded forward to the next question, meaning NCLEX is a forward-moving exam, and you will not be able to go back and change answer choices after moving to the next question. Am I limited to how many times I can change an answer choice? No, you are not limited to how many times you can change your answer choices, as long as you have not moved forward. Changing answer choices frequently is not a test-taking practice we recommend, as it leads to second-guessing yourself and limits your time to devote on other questions and answers. If you are not sure, take a deep breath and reason through the answers to your best ability. Accept it and move forward to get the next one correct. Thank you so much for taking the time, and we hope these examples and tips are helpful.